Page 9, opening night. At the top of this page, they're giving you more symbols. And I'm trusting you to remember these symbols, although I'm going to be talking about them, because you really need to know them. The first one up there, that say about measures. What's a measure? Now, in some countries, they're called bars. A measure and a bar, same difference. A measure is the distance between those vertical lines. Those vertical lines are called measure lines because they tell you where the measures are. They're also called bar lines because a measure can be called a bar, and so they can be called bar lines, and I'm liable to call them either one. So just know that the distance, the space between these vertical lines are measures or bars. Then the half note. Well, we've had a quarter note, was a solid circle with a stem. Well, a half note is an empty circle with a stem. And again, the stem can go up or down. That's not important, but it's an empty circle with a stem. What's the relationship of a half note to a whole note? Well, think about the numbers. Whole, half, quarter, eighth. You can divide by 2 each time. That's how it works. So we have a half note. What's half of a half note? Half of a half is a quarter. That means here, 2 quarter notes equal 1 half note. In other words, the half note lasts the same amount of time as 2 quarter notes would last. So if a quarter note gets a beat, boom, 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 a half note gets 2 beats. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe it'd be better if I stopped singing and play it. Let's just pick a note here. Quarter note, 1, 2, 3, 1. A half note would be 1, 2, 2. It's 2 quarter notes in counting wise, and how long you hold it down. Remember I said the notes, they don't tell you which notes to play or how long to hold them down. But we can say in relation to each other between quarter notes and half notes get twice as long as a quarter note. I still don't know how long that is, but still it's twice as long as a quarter note. And then the last one is the whole note, and that's just a circle, no stem. And a whole note is like 2 half notes, because you have a whole, divide it in half, you get 2 halves, half notes. You take a half note or a half and divide it in half, you get a quarter or a quarter note. So it just keeps dividing. And I can go on down, 16, 32nd, 64th note, 128th note, blah, blah, blah. We don't use all those in piano, but the point is that it divides. So a whole note is the same as 2 half notes, which is the same as 4 quarter notes. So a whole note would get the same as 4 quarter notes. So if I go here, 1, 2, these are quarter notes. Then a whole note, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Half notes would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. See, it shows you how long to hold the note down in relation to the other notes. And there's a little more to it, but that's good enough for now. Let's just get that part. Now let's look at opening night. Again, we're going to use the 3 black keys like we did before. You got 4, 3, 2 here, 4, 3, 2 here. And you're just going to follow the finger numbers is all it is. And what I do at first, when I'm first learning something that's really hard for me, is I forget the counting. I just play the notes here. The second line is left hand. You get the idea? Okay. Then once I know what the notes are doing, then I'll go in and I'll put in the counting. We need to count these, and we're going to count them according to the measure. We're going to start at 1 at the beginning of its measure, and we're going to count however many counts we have in the measure. Here it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the counting we're going to do. That keeps us the notes in relation to each other. How long? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. See? That way you know how long to hold the notes down in relation to each other. Yeah. How fast you go, that's up to you. I'm not worried about speed right now. Now at the end of this, they point out a double bar line. That's not really what we call a double bar line. It's a symbol, and it means the end of a piece. This is a thin and thick bar line. There is another symbol that we call a double bar line that means something else. But it's important that this thin and thick bar line is the symbol for the end of the piece. So it tells you the piece ends there, because it's not always going to be at the end of the music. It could be anywhere inside the music, because you can jump around and go all kinds of places in music. You're going to love it. But that thin and thick bar line will tell you where it ends eventually. I'll be pointing that out too. It's kind of important. Now I'd like to play this mess at the bottom, and you play this opening night thing. I'll give us 4 counts. Now let's see what we can do with this. And again, I'm not going to go as fast as what they're suggesting. We're going to slow it down a little bit. 1, 2, ready, go.